Well, hello there. Welcome to Broadway Radical. We're gonna talk about musicals. Today, our musical is about eating people. But this time, it's not Sweeney Todd, because we did that one already. No, we're going to be talking about Little Shop of Horrors, which is sort of badly named because it's more like Little Shop of Horror, singular. But anyway, summary. So we're in Skid Row, right? And these three divas are like, so we're in Skid Row, right? And everybody is like, yes, the place we are in is called Skid Row. Also, it generally sucks. Things aren't super great because they generally are bad. On the whole, I'd give it a 1 out of 10. And Seymour Krelborn is like, I also don't like these circumstances particularly. And then this total eclipse of the sun is like, what's up? And this magical Venus flytrap shows up and he's like, what's up? Except plants don't talk. But Seymour's like, nah. Yeah, this is good. Good. Sick. And then he takes him to the flower shop where he works. And the flower is like, hey, I'm not doing great. And Seymour's like, literally, what do you want me to do? Feed you human blood? And the plant is like, yes, that would actually be great. That'd be sick. And Seymour's like, yeah, that seems okay. Yeah, alright, cool. Also, he names the plant Audrey 2 after this girl that he likes that has a boyfriend. And everybody's like, no, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. That's not creepy at all. Not weird at all, Seymour. You just do you. But luckily for him, she is also secretly like, yes, Seymour, that's some good stuff. I sure do not mind him. But then her boyfriend shows up and he's like, yes, hello, I'm a bad dude. I ride motorcycles and wear leather jackets and also aprons or whatever, because I'm a dentist. And I also enjoy causing pain. And my mother suggested this line of work, and everybody's like, yeah, that sounds like a solid idea. Your mom had some good business sense. And he's like, thank you. Anyway, and then Mr. Mushnick, who owns the flower shop, is like, hey, I better make sure that this lucrative business causer doesn't chuff off. And he's like, hey, Seymour, let me adopt you all of a sudden. And Seymour's like, yeah, that sounds sick. Good. And later Audrey 2 is like, hey, Seymour. And Seymour's like, oh, hey, wait a minute, plants aren't supposed to talk. And Audrey 2 is like, so anyway, murder this dude. And Seymour's like, nah. And Audrey 2 is like, please, I'll make Audrey like you and stuff. And Seymour's like, well, okay. And then he murders the dude. Well, he doesn't directly murder him, but he lets him die on gas. He overdoses. But anyway, he's like, here, yeah, this seems like a great idea. Take him, giant talking plant. This is great. I'm gonna shove him into your mouth. And Audrey 2 is like, yeah, cool. Sick. Thanks, bro. Later, the flower shop is super busy, and Audrey and Seymour are like, wow, we're super busy. Hey, also, come to think of it, I do enjoy your face, and also other parts of you. And then Mushnick is like, hey, Seymour, you didn't murder this dude, did you? Cause it kind of seems that way. It does look, pretty, reasonably murdery. And Seymour's like, nah. And Audrey 2 is like, hey, feed him to me so I can murder him also. And Seymour's like, sure. And then he does that. He murders all the dude, and the plant eats him. And then a bunch of producers and agents and whatever are like, hey, Seymour, let me hook you up with whatever. And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. Wait a minute though. I should probably murder this murder plant. No, this seems like a bad idea. But then he's like, ooh, what if Audrey 1 original Audrey OG, doesn't enjoy the parts of me anymore that she enjoys right now. So he's like, nah, I won't murder it. But then later he's like, yeah, no, actually, I probably should. But then OG Audrey 1, Audrey the original is like, hey, I sure do like not being eaten. And then Audrey the sequel, Audrey 2 Electric Boogaloo, is like, not anymore. And it eats her. But then Seymour's like, oh no, you're dead. But OG Audrey's like, nah, dog, it's cool. Just put me in there. It'll be great. And then she dies, and he puts her in there, and it's not super great. And then this dude shows up, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna take cuttings of your plant so we can spread it all over the world. And Seymour's like, oh, you just wanted to take over the earth, didn't you? That was like your whole thing. And Audrey too, who's just now just Audrey, I guess, or Audrey is plural, kind of, is like, yes, that definitely has been my whole thing, like all along. That's my thing, dude. That's what I do. Did you just like figure that out? And Seymour was like, I'm not pleased with that. Time for murder, Plant. You murder Plant. And Plant's like, good job doing that. Good luck. And nothing's killing it. So Seymour's like, yes, I know it would be great. I'll change the system from the inside and kill it in there. And Audrey's like, oh no, don't do that. Oh no, oh gee. Oh, you did that. Guess you really wanted to be murdered super bad. And then he murders him like super bad. And then Seymour's in the plant and he's dead. Everybody is dead. And then the three fabulous diva chicks that have been telling the story the whole time but have no real relevance to it are like, yeah, this happened like a lot. It happened several places. You probably heard of, a few of them. Anyway, bad news. And Audrey's like, yeah, that's my whole thing, everybody. I just wanna kind of eat everything. Cleveland, Des Moines, Peoria, New York, and even this theater. And if you're not in a theater, and if you're just listening to the soundtrack at home, you're like, oh no, that poor theater, and all those other towns that I'm not in. I hope they're okay, but they're not, because everybody's in Audrey too. And everybody's like, oh no, and then that's just it, I guess. Yeah. And, scene. So that was the Broadway. Here's the radical. Okay, so there are two major issues, themes that Little Shop deals with. One of them being race, white anxiety, particularly, and the other being class struggle. And I'm only going to do class struggle this episode just because the Hairspray video prior to this was very much in the racial direction. But I imagine in the future I can do another one on race on this one. Especially if y'all let me know in the comments, you know which direction they are below. And if you're wondering what the racial overtones are, just consider the fact that the main villain is traditionally played by like a black man, and the Greek chorus are stereotypes of black women who have no autonomy in terms of the plot. And also, Mr. Mushnick is a clear Jewish stereotype, which Alan Menken is, at least, he's Jewish. So it's not that they're anti-Semitic, it's just, okay, do we need more stereotypes? And I get what you were trying to do with, like, the whole motif and everything. It's just questionable. Anyway, that's another video. So, class struggle. Everyone's, like, pretty poor. We establish right off the bat. Things are not super great for, like, anybody. around here, and everybody in this lower class is dreaming of getting out. Mostly, this is signified by Audrey's dreams of a nice, average suburban life, somewhere that's green. And then, suddenly, without warning, there's this total eclipse in the sun, and then, oh no, it's capitalism. So, what, you're saying... what, Chris? You're saying capitalism is a monster and Little Shop of Horrors? Well, my friend, capitalism is a monster and everything. But also, yes, capitalism is the monster in the Little Shop of Horrors. Audrey 2 is like the American dream. It's all capitalism. And why? Well, don't sit back, don't relax, and don't feed the plants, because we are going to engage with this text so hard right now, and I'm going to tell the crap out of you. I will tell you why. Anyway, Audrey 2 seems innocuous at first, maybe even quaint. It makes sense. It's our little dream, an itty bitty little sickly plant that someday grows into a giant life-giving organism, you know. But it becomes clear rather quickly that the only way that this little dream of ours can flourish is human suffering. And at first, it's only on a small level, you know, a few bucks here and there, a few nips on the finger, it's fine. But, you know, as our little dream begins to grow, frankly, we must face the reality that for our American dream to succeed, there must be sacrifice. Not our sacrifice, mind you, but the sacrifice of others at no cost to us. See, when Seymour lets Oren die, it just seems, you know, like, okay, yeah, sure, he deserved it. We feed him to the plant. This is like employing someone. You started a business, and now in order to turn a profit, you're going to have to pay someone less than their worth to do something that they don't particularly want to do, to produce something worth twice as much as what you're paying them, and half as much as what you charge your customers to pay you for it. Thus, we all feed the plant. Innocuous, still, well, you know, they deserve it. We might rationalize it, even if they were better, you know, they'd get a better job. You know, it's not my responsibility. Somebody's gonna exploit them. Somebody's gonna feed them to a giant talking plant. Might as well be me. And the bloody machine of capital only grows larger and louder. It promises love. It promises you an original mint condition, Audrey. It delivers. It promises success. It delivers. It promises you speaking tours and TV shows and interviews and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money. And it delivers. And all you have to do is keep killing these poor saps who don't know any better. And at some point, you and or Seymour have to be like, ah, this is bad. And Seymour realizes what he's doing is wrong. And after he loses the reason that he wanted success in the first place, in Audrey. And then he's like, okay, yeah, I'll change the system from the inside. And a similar fate of his awaits those who follow the path in the metaphor. There's no way to change a monster from the inside like this. It will eat you, and it will only grow stronger. Thus is capitalism. You may think, yes, I know those fat cat Wall Street bankers are taking advantage of people with sweatshops and stock prices, but me, I'll be a good little capitalist. I'll take some of my profits to charity. I'll chip in for breast cancer. I'll send a pair of shoes to kids in Africa or wherever for each one that you buy it. It'll be great. It will not be great. Look, you can dress up the exploitation of other human beings as charitable and fair, but it never will be. As long as there are wage slaves, none of us can be truly free. Just because you feed the plant a bad guy doesn't mean you're any less of a murderer. If you participate in a system that is based on stealing from people, stealing their time, hours, chunks, months of their life, years on menial labor for $7 an hour just so they can survive, just so they can pay rent, just so they can eat today. You can't turn around and say you're an ethical company because you gave 0.00001% of your profits to a scholarship fund for at-risk children or whatever. You get rich while both your employees and those you give a pittance of charity to struggle daily, and the fact of that will always be a crime. However ethical you think you are, however legal your theft, protected and sanctified by the state, may be. The truth is, there's just no morally good way to feed someone to a giant, talking, R&B singing alien plant. There is no ethical capitalism, even if it is green. Well, hello. Hi. Thank you for watching. It means so much to me. These videos take a lot of time to do the animated ones, obviously. It's not top tier animation, obviously, but like it's still, you know, that's been my entire day today, just putting together pictures and frames. But if you guys like it, let me know. I'll do more of it. Or if you want to see me just yap with my face some more, like I do in my vlogs and musical rants, that's okay too. Just let me know. Just clickety clackety down in the comment brackety. Close enough. Hey, and if you're like a visual artist, if you know how to make stuff look good on a screen, hit me up, PM me, do what you do. You can find me, Liam Neeson it, and we'll form a connection. Okay. Alright, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Love you. Bye. Mwah. Oh, before I go. Go watch, if you can, if you're not gonna watch the whole movie. They have the whole movie of Little Shop, but like, the version with Steve Martin in it, where he's the dentist, is like the best thing. It's so perfect. It's so perfectly choreographed. Every second is just so like, is so pristine. It's so beautiful. I know I still stick by A Little Priest being like the best moment in musical theater, and I don't even know if you can consider that scene musical theater because it was filmed. Well, yeah, you can. Only snobs say you can, and I'm not a snob, not for that anyway. But like, it's up there, just the way that he pulls it off. Go watch it. It's on YouTube in several different variations. It's freaking great. Okay, you have a stellar day, and Broadway radical.